Well, to make it quick, because that is quite a long and not so interesting personal story, there was a point when I realized that somehow I lost track of the stuff that actually brought me to starting this career in the first place. So that's why I showed you all of this inspiration stuff in the beginning. So this guy is just a symbol, a lot of symbols here. So this guy, Kaneda, is a character from Akira, an anime movie, a famous manga comic. He reminds me of that fact, that I lost track of that, like nothing else. And when I realized that, then actually this guy changed my whole behavior or my perspective for looking at things. And today, when I'm in between projects, I focus more on the stuff that I actually do like, instead of comparing myself all the time with potential competitors or clients from my own field. And what they like and what they do and they might be interested in. Instead, I read a lot. I watch movies that I like. I play games. All of that stuff that inspired me as a kid. The stuff that I showed you earlier. And soon I started to find inspiration everywhere. The more I don't know if I'm focused on the stuff that I did like as a kid, the more I found that and parts of it in new stuff around me. So it's not like that I'm only inspired by stuff from the 90s, but also from the stuff that I discover every day. And also on top of that, coming back to all of that also helps me to kind of, let's say, unspike or despike my moods when inside of this production steps of the creative cycle. So that also helped me a lot. So my main message actually is regarding this particular topic is like in doubt, like be a fan and not a professional. That doesn't mean that you have to work in a non-professional way, but like being a fan just at least helped me a lot. And let me explain that. So especially in this first part there, which I identified as the main bug in the system, it helped me. And then, changing this perspective, it made it just go away. See that I'm working in the visual effects industry. Actually, I stopped comparing myself with other creatives, as I said earlier. And instead, I started to draw inspiration from other fields than my own, which is a less competitive process. So you still try to get inspired, but not like without putting so much pressure on yourself. And I started to become more active, maybe also start personal work. Well, not so much actually, or sometimes just simply rest. So recover and go offline. And as I said, like kind of indulge myself in the stuff that I actually liked. So the stuff that I showed you earlier. And then, of course, the request comes in, and it actually helped me to go into the project with like more like a clean sheet. Of course, I mean, my ambition is still and motivation and I always want to do something great. So this doesn't go away, but it's like less, just not so much. It's just less pressure I put on myself. And then you go on, and then again, this won't make your creative and then ideation phase any simpler. But I mean, being creative is hard work sometimes. But it's easier to focus, when you're not in such a bad mood. And then you carry on to design, and this actually, I mean, I think it will always be like that. That's the dark night of the soul. You just have to get through this, at least if you're as bad as a designer and concept artist as I am. So I do get help at that stage a lot. And then you carry on into production, and in the end, it's going to lead to something that is not so bad. and it's going to be a much more satisfying result, because all the process that led to this final result was less focused or less defined by self-pity and unnecessary distress and stuff like that. And that's why it actually helps to get all of that stupid stuff out of the system. So to sum that up for you, like, stop tormenting yourself, as I said earlier. So not tormenting yourself, I think it helps at any point in the creative process. So don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, this is unreflected comparison and wrong expectations towards yourself and the project. Also false pride in not letting others help you out. And just kind of accepting the fact that at some points your skills are just not enough, and that's okay. All of that might be very depressing and makes you less creative. So I don't know, just stop that. So as I said, being a fan and not a professional is important. So remembering your roots, what truly inspired you in the first place. And I mean, I know all of that kind of sounds very general, and you probably can find insight like that on Reddit and Vice. Every second Vice article, I have the feeling, is about stuff like that. So 12 reasons to get a better, to improve your creativity, and 14 reasons to get more followers on Instagram. And then the next one is, again, about creativity. But that actually means that you have to know your stuff. That means, like, you need to find out what the first 2 points actually mean to yourself. That's what I did, at least. I deciphered what I really liked, and I identified what was deeply inspiring to me, and then I brought that into my work.